Tide Talk Web is back. What's going on, guys? Woo! I got some recruiting news to go over, and then after that, really quick, we're going to go over the gorilla in the room that nobody wants to talk about Alabama football heading into 2025. It's a little concerning. Nobody's talking about it, so I'm going to go down that road, and let's go with it. I know a lot of people are talking about, that Failburn has been getting more Alabama recruits, and oh no, the sky is falling. DeBoer just got the number 2 class in the country. That's a fact. Most of Saban's great players, a lot of them, I would say about 50%, were not from the state of Alabama. So we got to trust the process, one. So I think we're going to be fine there. They are making inroads in Alabama. And DeBoer is working hard to make relationships in those schools that Saban's had for 20 years. So that's the first thing. There's a big weekend coming up in February. There's a lot of juniors there in the 2025 class. Some of the bigger names. Titan Davis, he's the number 14 defensive lineman overall. He's a big name that's going to be there. Topu, he's the number 20 defensive lineman. Cam Johnson is not rated. He's another big one, but it's up and coming. He hasn't been rated a lot. He's going to be coming in. Preston Carey, he's the 29th defensive lineman. As you can tell, there's a trend here. We're going to be getting trying to go after a lot of defensive linemen this coming class. And Tyson Bacon, he's another number 29 defensive line. As far as O-line goes, Lucas Roja, he's the number 3 interior offensive tackle. We're going to try to be getting him there. Another guy that we're really going after is Trenton Henderson, a big 3-star. He's the number 8th edge guy in the country. J.J. Finch is number 50 DL defensive lineman we're going to go after. Some other linebackers that were kind of on our radar that we're really, really keying in on. Sincere Johnson, Braden Rouse, and Nick Abrams. Johnson is number 7 lineman in the country. Rouse is number 17, and then Abrams is number 24 linebacker in the country as well. Recent cornerback offers, we've got Ebert Hill. He's the number 1 corner in the country. I know Ohio State's going after him really hard. We also got Jordan Edmonds, number 11. Really great defensive back. We're going after him very hard too. And so a lot of things are going on. We're getting a lot of these guys in there. We're going after these guys. We're making inroads in the state of Alabama as well. So that's great. The sky's not falling. Don't be freaking out about, well, Auburn they got one on us on this class. Don't worry about it. We will find, we'll get our guys that we need to get. And I'm just going to get to the point. There's a gorilla in the room that nobody wants to address about going into the 2025 season. I'm going to make an early prediction that we do not make the playoffs. I want to say we're going to lose 4 games. And the reason I'm saying this, I have data. I went back and looked at Nick Sheridan's offensive totals when he only worked 1 year in 2021 at Wisconsin for DeBoer. They were horrible. I know there was a lot of injuries, a lot of things going on, but he ranked 123 out of 130 FBS programs in scoring. In passing, ranked 124th out of 130 programs in the passing offense. Finished 10th in the Big Ten in passing yards per game. Last in the Big Ten in pass efficiency. No passer finished with 1,000 yards under him. As far as rushing, they were 113th out of 130 FBS programs in rushing. They finished 12th in the Big Ten in rushing yards per game. They averaged 3.2 yards an attempt, total offense. Ranked 124th out of 130 FBS programs in total offense. Finished last in the Big Ten in total offense. Averaged 4.3 yards a play. Now, injuries were a major factor, okay? I'm seeing some trends on this. And we were way too talented last year to have those issues. Now, Milroe had his problems. I get that. But this is not all Milroe. I mean, you're talking about an offensive coordinator that never could pull him, ever. You're talking about a guy who would just, well, if it ain't working, we're just going to keep doing it over and over and over and over. That's not winning football. He's showing a trend here. And I beg to differ regardless of the quarterback. If we have him coming back, there's going to be no difference. The offensive line was abysmal. They were absolute garbage. You look at McLaughlin last year, how bad he was and how trash he was. Now I think, I don't have any proof. I feel like somebody paid him in that game for 8 bad snaps in a row. Sorry, that's just the most insane. I see 2 or 3 in a row. Okay, that many. Magically, the guy goes to Ohio State with a good offensive line coach, and magically he wins awards. And it's very. And I'm going to get a little critical here, and then we're about to get into Alabama's stats for the year in 2024. And I get it. We had issues on play calling. We had issues on quarterbacks. We had people that couldn't pull Milroe when he needed to be pulled. And that's very concerning. You can't. And then also the fact of you don't ever change the game plan. Well, what you're working, plan you're working in the first half doesn't work. There's never any change. It's like, we're just going to keep doing the same thing. And the puzzling thing to me is why the hell DeBoer had the same offensive line coach come back, the same offensive coordinator came back when you fired his ass in 2021. There was no improvement. It just got worse as the year went on. And it was like watching the Three Stooges out there. Now I pulled the numbers from 2 different sites. One is teamrankings.com, and I pulled some stats off of ChatGPT. And as far as teamrankings.com, Alabama was outgained in games 414 to 313. Alabama converted 3 of 14 on average third down attempts. 29th for points per game and 46th for yards per game in the country. Alabama points per play was 16th and 21 yards per play, or 16th in the country, and we were 21st in yards per play overall. The passing offense, we averaged 236, which is 86th nationally last year. 86th. Okay, let that sink in. With the talent we had, let that sink in for a minute. Let it marinate. Rushing offense, we averaged 137 yards, which is 84th nationally. Do we see a trend here? Like this is a trend. Okay, and I will eat this piece of paper if I'm wrong. At the end of 2025, if we're top 20, I will eat this piece of paper. But I'm very positive that will not happen. Nick Sheridan has a history already from what we're seeing of this, and it never got better throughout the year. It got worse. Even under you had Tommy Rees, it got better every game. He game planned differently. If something wasn't working, he changed the script. This never happened, ever. Not one time. And the offensive line never got better. They got worse. And then DeBoer goes out there and fires the defensive back coach, who I thought was a better spot. They got better as the year went on. You fired him, but you kept 2 bums. 2 bums that, I would have fired him probably before the bowl game. They were so bad. I don't know what he's seeing. He's the coach. We got to trust him. I'm seeing dark skies ahead, and I'm not getting on the train of, we're going to make the playoffs. So many guys are coming back on defense. I'm not buying that. I'm sorry. I think we lose 4 games. I think we're out of the playoffs before the season even started. And you look at all that, and you look at the stats I just presented, and it kind of speaks for itself. So, hopefully I'm wrong. Some things just I don't understand. You fired him in 21 quickly, but you're giving him another year. I mean, if we don't see some improvement, you're just wasting another year with the same bums. And you also run the risk of those guys getting fed up and just getting in the portal. Now, hopefully we have better quarterback play next year. But those guys leading the train, I don't know. I mean, the offensive line got worse as the year went on. Play calling got worse. The decision making got worse. I don't have any confidence. I'm just going to be real honest with you. I'm always going to be crimson, always bleed crimson. But you got to call out the truth. When the truth is in front of your face and it's so glaring, you got to call it out. So, I hope I'm wrong, but that's my forecast for next year. Anyway, as always, Tide Talk Web is out. I'll have a video for you guys later in the week.